Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to the qualifying session for Team NNSCRA for the big one. That's right, it's a 5-series collaboration as we get set here to find out the 8 drivers that will represent Team NNSCRA in the big one. First off, I want to thank Benny Watson, aka Napa Fan, for putting together this event and allowing me to be able to be a part of this event as well, to bring my league into this big event and have qualifying races and whatnot. Really looking forward to it. And, how cool is it that you're able to then take leagues that are, running by themselves and be able to have a co-op with them. That is just so amazing. We've got Marty Zakala, Carter Friesen, and Andrew Miller also in on this. It's just really cool to see how the Enter 2003 community comes together, and great brainstorm idea by Benny Watson to have 3 really big leagues be able to come together and culminate into one big main event. So we've got qualifying races here today. Everyone's given the opportunity in their particular qualifying races to kind of shake it up the way they want to. So we've got an interesting format here today in order to pick our 8 drivers to represent Team NNSCRA in the big one. We're going to have 17 laps of racing here for our first event. The top 3, the podium finishers, will move on to represent in the main event. The remaining drivers will take part in another 17-lap race here. They will have the top 3 move into the main event. The final 2 spots will be determined. We're going to have a final dash here, 9 laps in total. The winner of that race will move on, and then we're shaking it up a little. Our first 3 events are taking place here at the venue where the big one will take place, Coca-Cola Speedway. But we're going to have our final driver determined in a last chance death match, as all the remaining drivers that have not yet made it into the main event, they will battle for that one final spot in a demolition derby race at Raleigh Raceway Park. That is going to be fun. You're not going to want to miss any of the action. It's all going to come to you culminating in one video. So you're not going to have to wait another day for the next race. You're not going to have to wait another 2 days for the next race. It's all going to take place right here, right now. So sit down, make sure you have a beverage and a snack because it's going to be a long one and it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's introduce you to the drivers that are going to try and be one of the 8 representatives for Team NNSCRA here in the big one. We've got the number 11 Hooters Ford Taurus of Ashlyn Boyd. Ashlyn Boyd on this channel, a former winner in the Pizza Hut X series, so definitely would be a good representative. Alongside of him is going to be the number 10. That is Joshua Sakuli. Sakuli, a former Hershey's Cup Series winner, a former Coors Light Truck Series winner.
Drivers, start your engines.
As we've got the command, he was a 3-time winner back in one of the seasons of Hershey's Cup Series. Next row, you've got the number 14 of Jake Rogers. Jake Rogers, of course, a Hall of Famer, an NNSCRA Hall of Famer. And alongside of him, you've got the number 23 of Kyle Langland, who's been running for the last number of seasons in the Pizza Hut X Series. Next row, number 19 of Austin Colano. Colano kind of new to the channel, making his rookie debut season in the Coors Light Truck Series. Alongside of him, the number 24 of Kev Shearer. Kev Shearer, of course, a former Hershey's Cup Series winner and also a former playoff contender in the Hershey's Cup Series. Next row will be the number 20, Ying Canario. Canario, a former Pizza Hut X Series winner and also was in the playoffs last year, a former Daytona winner in the Pizza Hut X Series, as a matter of fact. Alongside of him, the number 15 of Zach Flickinger, who has run a number of seasons in the Pizza Hut X Series. I believe he's a former Snickers Cup Series winner, too, if my knowledge is correct. Tony Green, who last season was a 2-time Coors Light Truck Series winner and also was in the Final Four competing for the championship. He lines up alongside of the 22 of Carson Gum. Carson Gum also had a career year last year in the Pizza Hut Series, a 2-time winner, and also was in the playoffs. Number 16 of Michael Norman. Of course, Michael Norman, his reputation precedes him, as he is a Hall of Famer in the NNSCRA and has won a number of big races on this channel. Alongside of him, the 21 of Paul Minnick. Minnick last year was in the Coors Light Truck Series, currently not in a series this season, I don't think. Or actually, no, I believe he's running the Last of Us Light Series. So we're about to go green, so I will go through quickly the rest of this field. Charles Sanford, the number 26 Crown Royal Ford. Alongside of him is Angel Olvera in the 13, who won the Rookie of the Year honors in last year's Coors Light Truck Series season. There's Igor Barreto in the number 12. This, I think, is the first time that I've really ever seen Igor Barreto for any series. I think he might actually be down might be in the Budweiser All-Pro Series, but I'm not 100% certain. There's Levi McIntyre, the number 17 DeWalt Ford. Of course, Levi McIntyre, also an NNSCRA Hall of Famer. And Austin LaPlante, number 25, who has wins in the Pizza Hut X Series, also in the Hershey's Cup Series, and running this year in the Pizza Hut X Series in the 7 for Michael Norman Motorsports. So 17 laps in this race. No caution, so if we have a wreck, we still continue running on as Jake Rogers in the 14 will lead the first lap, but they are 3 wide behind him. Actually, check that. 3 wide inside of him. Well, I thought they were. Now they settle it out as that was Michael Norman making it 3 wide, putting Yin Canario in the middle. And now Norman all over the back bumper of Jake Rogers. He's got fellow Ford Paul Minnick in tow. Now keep in mind, we've got a number of cars here that could be considered teammates. The 24 and the 25, the 18 and the 20, the 16, the 17, but there are no teammates. It's every man for himself right now. Everyone wants to get a chance to represent Team NNSCRA. They are not going to work together in this race by any stretch of the imagination. Who's going to lead this lap? It's a Ford Frenzy at the front, and it will be Norman just barely over Paul Minnick and Charles Sanford, but now Sanford's got the inside line. He's going to go to the top position, getting some help from Angel Olvera in the 13. LaPlante there in the 25, McIntyre the 17. Remember, whoever the top 3 finishers are at the end of this heat, they move on to represent Team NNSCRA in the main event. They will not have to worry about the upcoming 3 events that will be happening here. Another heat race of 17 laps, another heat race of 9 laps, and then, of course, our last chance qualifying demo derby at Raleigh Raceway Park. So LaPlante out in front, McIntyre slots to second. Here comes the 15 of Zach Flickinger on the bottom, putting Igor Barreto in the 12 in the middle. Flickinger's got a rear deck lid full of Austin Colano, and then behind him, Tony Green. Top 3 single file for the moment, Chevy, Ford, Chevy. See some guys there running at the back, realizing this is not a long race, but it's a 3-mile racetrack, so it takes them some time to get around it. We've already seen that starting at the back doesn't necessarily hurt you. You got a fast car and you can wind up that inside line. You can move from the back to the front very quickly. See, Kev Shearer is back there. I think Michael Norman faded back there after getting kicked up to the high line. Angel Olvera also back there, along with Carson Gum, as the battle's on for the lead. Zach Flickinger to the inside of Austin LaPlante. There are no bonus points for leading a lap here or anything like that. It's just the 17 laps completed. Top 3 move on. But when you're out in front, you have the opportunity to possibly control the draft, which is what Flickinger's trying to do right now with Tony Green in tow. Down to the inside comes the 23, Kyle Langland. And he's got right behind him Joshua Sekuli, who started on the outside of the front row, kind of faded back and now making his way back up here towards the front. Michael Norman doing the same. Remember, we saw him get kicked up to the high groove, faded back to the rear of the field. Now he's right back up here in the thick of things. He's got Colano with him. There's Charles Sanford as well. Boy, these cars do not look steady here. And of course, these drivers that end up moving on in these heat races here at Coca-Cola, this is certainly giving them some good experience of potentially what to expect when the main event of the big one rolls around. Because this is the venue that they will be at. Facing off against 8 drivers from Team NRLOA, 8 drivers from Team NOFSRL, 8 drivers from Team NOIL, or NIOL, and to 8 drivers from Team TRN. Right now, Flickinger's doing a good job controlling the draft. The big battle's on for second. Almost contact there between Canario and Barreto. That was a close call. Kev Shearer down there on the bottom with the 12. Are they going to go 4 wide? Shearer's thinking about it. Oh, contact with the 12! Save it! Oh my goodness, everyone just got swept up in that. Gracious sakes alive. Flickinger, Colano, Barretto, and the bonehead move of the race might go to Kev Shearer. Michael Norman and Charles Sanford also caught up in this. And it looks like also the 13 is coming to pit road of Angel Oliveira. And then there were, what, 8 up in this lead pack? No, 9. You've got Canario way out in front now. Rogers second. Carson Gum, who spent most of this race at the back, is now in third. Green fourth. Sakuli fifth. And then also up in this pack, you've got Paul Minnick, Kyle Langland, Ashlyn Boyd, and Levi McIntyre. And that's it. Well, there's Norman on pit road. Now the good news for these drivers that are on pit lane and out of the race, there's Sanford, there's Barretto, there is LaPlante, Flickinger, Shearer. That was Colano just ahead of him. The good news is they will get backup cars, be able to try again in the upcoming 3 remaining heats, the 2 heats in the LCQ. But, boy, it's kind of hard to see what happened exactly, but I think that Shearer, when he went for that 4-wide move, Barretto went down to block him. The 2 of them locked bumpers and both found themselves on the apron going into 3. And these guys are going upwards of 245 miles per hour. There is just no way you can hold 240 miles per hour on the apron without that thing drifting back up the track. And right now, Yang Canario is a sitting duck as this group has now caught up to him. And look at how quickly they're going to pass him. That's Carson Gum going up the middle. Sakuli going down the inside. Gum had Rogers with him. And Sakuli had Tony Green and Paul Minnick with him on the bottom. So I guess we can safely say, and then there were 9, as right now the top 9 all running up here in this lead pack. The caboose on this train, Levi McIntyre, is when we hit the line, there'll be 7 laps to go. And that just showed you right there, that aggressive move by Kev Shearer, just how much these drivers want to move on to the main event, not have to worry about the upcoming remaining heats in that LCQ. As Minnick now out in front. And I think everybody on down from Angel Oliveira has retired. Yeah, so there's only 9 cars left. They're all up here in this lead pack right now. Podium spots right now held by Minnick, Langland, and Green. As now Langland steps out to the inside line. Yang Canario is going to go down there with him. Whoa! Langland got a nice run there into turn 3, but Paul Minnick moved down to throw the block. Almost got hooked in the left rear quarter panel for his trouble, and now as we get into the closing stages of this heat, you can bet the blocking is going to be a lot more aggressive than it was earlier on. Levi McIntyre, who was 9th a couple laps ago, now up to 4th, going to try and take 3rd. He'll get it, now moves to 2nd as he will go to the runner-up spot, bringing Tony Green with him. Green will now move into 3rd place, and they're going to try and get some more here. As McIntyre stays to the inside, he'll get alongside of Kyle Langland going here into turn 3. Then he's got the Gibbs Chevrolets behind him, Tony Green, Yang Canario, and there's Carson Gum, the 22 as well. The only, oh no, he's one of 2 Dodges that are in this lead group. Well, no, there actually is another Dodge back there, the 14 of Jake Rogers. So you got 3 Dodges up in this group. Heading the line, lap 12 completed, lap 13 on the board, 5 laps remaining. 3 wide back there. That was Ashlyn Boyd getting kicked up to the high line there in the 11. And here comes Tony Green to the inside for the top position. Gonna challenge Levi McIntyre. Like I said, there's really no friends here. You've got the 17 of Ford being drafted by a Dodge. You've got the 18 of Chevrolet being drafted by a Dodge. So your friends are where you find them, even though, like I said, there really are no friends here. I guess unwilling allies is a better way of putting it. 3 wide to the line. Green by about half a car length will lead that lap up the middle groove. And he's got some friends there, Paul Minnick, Joshua Sakuli, and that's going to keep him out in front, at least into turn 1. Well, I thought so. Carson Gum, though, not going to be denied. Gets his car to the left rear quarter panel. Now he's got Joshua Sakuli in tow. Sakuli's got Jake Rogers. Will they try 3 wide? No, Rogers makes the move to the inside. So that will hold the lead to Carson Gum, I think, going out into turn 3. Way up the track went Tony Green in the 18. He's going to fade back, try and regroup and try again. As a car has lost this lead group, that's the 20 of Yin Canarios. So now we're down to 8 drivers left in the hunt, maybe, to move on here, transfer in this heat. Carson Gum, Jake Rogers, and Ashlyn Boyd right now in possession of those 3 spots, as there's 2.5 laps to go as they hit the back straightaway. Now Ashlyn Boyd with fellow Ford Taurus, Paul Minnick. Watch back there, Jake Rogers and Tony Green. They're generating some speed right there on the back straightaway. And we may have lost Levi McIntyre, so it may now be down to 7 cars for 3 positions. No, McIntyre's still in the draft, so it's still a chance. Still 2 laps to go as well. Ashlyn Boyd now to the inside. This time, though, Paul Minnick does not go with his Ford buddy. Stayed up instead with Carson Gum, but that will not help him. He drops back, way back, as he's going to get freight trained. And Ashlyn Boyd says, "You should have gone with me. I just went to the lead." Langland slots in second, just ahead of unofficial teammate, if you will, Carson Gum. The Bill Davis dodges, and now Carson Gum crossover. He'll go to the inside. Big battle will probably be for third here, but it could very well be for this win as well. Ashlyn Boyd, Carson Gum, Kyle Langland. That's the top 3 as they come down here and see the white flag. We'll follow this battle for the lead, but we're also going to follow the 3rd place car of Kyle Langland, because this is where it's all about. That's the final transfer spot into the main event. Tony Green trying to close. Ashlyn Boyd got kicked up to the high side. That could cost him. Tony Green going to jump up high, moves back down low. This is the battle for 3rd right here between the 18 and the 11. Battle for the win between Langland in the 23, Gum in the 22. Gum could be in trouble coming into the start-finish line. Langland goes to the front. Green will move to 2nd. The battle will be for 3rd between Minnick and Gum. Who's going to get at the line between the 22 and the 21? It's going to be Carson Gum by a nose. So it'll be Langland, Green, and Gum who will be the first 3 transferees into the main event for Team NNSCRA, and according to the scoring monitor, 2 100ths shy was Paul Minnick in the 21. He'll have to try again in the next 2 races in the LCQ. So Langland, Green, and Carson Gum, they will move on to the main event, and they are the first 3 representatives for Team NNSCRA heading into the main event of the big one. We'll quickly just show you your standings. There you see them. So Langland, Green, Gum move on. Minnick on down. They're going to try again. Another 17-lap event on tap. Don't go anywhere. Begins right now. So this will give the chance for those drivers that finished out of the race in the last heat to have a chance here in this one. So drivers like Angel Albera, Michael Norman, Charles Samper, Austin LaPlante, Austin Colano, Kev Shearer, they're all going to be back on track with another opportunity. Just coming up short was the 21 of Paul Minnick, so probably keep an eye on him in this one. And Ashlyn Boyd will be on the pole position for this heat as well. The heats, as far as the starting lineup, not in any way related to the finishing results of the previous heat. So if we had had the previous heat, then it would have been Paul Minnick on the pole, but we're not doing that. We're just having the random qualifying order. So it's an all Ford front row for the start of this one. Another 17-lap race. And basically pretty much the exact same format as we had in the first heat. Top 3 finishers will move on to the main event. No caution flags of any wrecks that take place, and any drivers that DNF in this heat, they will be eligible to take part in the next heat, which only 1 spot will be on the line in a 9-lap dash. And all the remaining drivers will battle for 1 spot in that LCQ at Raleigh Raceway Park. Green flag in the air here for heat number 2. So far, 2 Dodges, 1 Chevrolet in the entries for Team NNSCRA into the main event of the big one. Pretty surprising way that Dodge kind of came out of the woodwork there. We've got some other Dodges here in this field that would like to move on. Jake Rogers, Angel Oliveira and Austin Colano, as well as Igor Barreto. So far, we haven't had a Ford make their way in, though. They've got a lot of representatives here with Boyd, Minnick, Norman, Sanford, McIntyre. As Angel Oliveira will go to the top position there, that unsponsored number 13. Just out of curiosity, I want to just see. I might be calling the 14 a Dodge, and he might actually be a Toyota Pontiac. No, he is a Dodge. Okay. I couldn't tell that the way that the grill on his race car was made, it almost looked very similar to a Pontiac Grand Prix front. So I was a little confused there. I just wanted to confirm that was a Dodge and that I wasn't making a mistake. Levi McIntyre lost the draft on the last heat in the closing stages. Now he's out in front in this heat. Kev Shearer, who had that scuffle with Igor Barreto that caused that big wreck in the first heat. Now he's charging to the front with Michael Norman and the aforementioned Barreto. All those cars in the inside line right there, the 24, 16, 12, 26, did not finish the last heat. All were involved in that wreck over here in turn 3. So all looking for some redemption here in this one. Sanford on the inside of a 3-wide situation there, that 26. LaPlante in the middle, up top side, Ian Canario. He's fading back now as Kev Shearer, with the help of Angel Oliveira, will get by Levi McIntyre. So the DuPont colors out in front. Here comes Barreto, though. Big run with Sanford and Flickinger. He's going to get second. Can he get the lead, though, is the question, as McIntyre went really wide, and here comes Barreto side by side between these two. These two locked bumpers over in 3, causing that wreck in Heat 1. I was wondering if we were going to see anything build off of that. Doesn't look like it. Oh my gosh, are we going 4 wide? Flickinger says yes. Oh, look at that! A Shearer just turned Barreto! The feud isn't over. What the heck? Shearer just hooked the 12 of Barreto. The tempers continue to flare between those two. It's almost like you don't want them to be part of Team NNSCRA. They'll take each other out in the big one. And Barreto's car sits on the apron. It's stuck on the track. Shearer has lost the draft because of that, but are you kidding me? Those two guys got into it in Heat 1, and I don't think the heat's been turned down in Heat 2. Well, that scared everybody. They all got single files. Sanford out in front. Ashland Boyd, Flickinger, LaPlante. Now they're going to start getting racy again. The 12 has finally teleported to pit road. And I just realized I didn't have the standings up for you guys to be able to see the running order. My apologies. Let's see if anybody lost the draft because of that. There's Canario, there's Colano, Norman, Rogers. I think they're all still okay. And then there's Kev Shearer. Yeah, I think the only driver that lost the draft was Kev Shearer, and quite honestly, rightly so, but how about that? Igor Barreto and Kev Shearer. Now I kind of almost want Igor Barreto to be in the Hershey's Cup Series, see if this rolls over on this channel at all. I don't know. I think Igor Barreto runs in the Budweiser All-Pro Series, and I know Kev Shearer does. Maybe that'll be developing over there. I don't know. Well, I thought that these guys were going to be okay, that they wouldn't lose the draft, but Colano, Norman, and Rogers are slowly losing this lead pack, and I think a big reason is they're basically only going double wide. If they would start going 3 and 4 wide again, I think that would allow these guys to catch back up. Now they're starting to go 3 wide, so maybe they have a chance. As up front, new race leader Joshua Zakuli in the 10. Getting by Austin LaPlante. Sanford, who was out in front a couple laps ago, now in 3rd, now 2nd. And looking for the lead. Zakuli not giving him much of a lane down there. Sanford tucks in line in 2nd. Paul Minnick right there behind him. Minnick coming up about maybe a front fender short of transferring in the first heat. They're 3 wide further back there. Flickinger, Boyd, and who was that way up top side? Was that the 25? Yeah, it was. LaPlante. I think Colano's caught back up on the draft. So I think he's still with this group. Don't know about Norman and Rogers, though. They might be too far back, and neither one of them are really within striking distance of each other, so they're not able to really draft with each other to get back up there. So as these laps wind down, we may see their gap between them and the tail end of this lead pack continue to increase. There you see Colano caught up to Sanford and Boyd, so he's up in this lead pack now. So the 19 still has a chance. Here comes the freight train being led by Zach Flickinger. He's got Angel Alvera, Yin Canario, Levi McIntyre with him. They were able to get by Minnick. Now they set their sights on Joshua Sekuli in the 10. Well, now the train's kind of broken up. Canario and McIntyre are the only ones down there. Now Flickinger goes low, and Alvera is going to go with him. So right now the 13 seems pretty committed to be with the 15. As soon as I say that, though, Angel Alvera is going to step even lower and get to the inside of the 15 for the top spot. Well, this race has not been without some kind of drama. This has been quite interesting. First heat, we had a wreck take place, contact between Kev Shearer and Igor Barreto. And then, in this second heat, Igor Barreto either came up and squeezed Kev Shearer, or Shearer hooked Barreto in the right rear quarter panel, and the two of them have made contact with each other yet again. Well, we know that neither of them are going to transfer here in this second heat. Little part of me is hoping they don't transfer in the third heat, because I want to see those two duke it out at Raleigh Raceway Park. Now, for those of you that don't know what Raleigh Raceway Park is a short track. But what it also is a figure 8 in which both lanes intersect with each other, and it makes for some very, very interesting racing. You'll see some drivers hitting each other as they go through the intersection at the same time, and we've had cars flipping, cars flying there before. It's a lot of fun. And it's a beautiful venue to have an LCQ race at. Oh boy. There's Barreto. Back on track. He's not going to transfer in the heat, but he can certainly cause some mayhem here. That's exactly what he's going to do right in front of the leaders. Where are they going to go? Alvera goes high. Flickinger goes low. They're going to split him. But that inside line's got more cars with Flickinger. So Flickinger is going to get the lead. Look at Alvera trying the high side, the hardest way around the track. I think he's going to clear the 12. No, he's not. That 12 car might be up to speed. I see a little bit of damage on the left side of the Altel Dodge, so it might not be completely up to speed, but we'll see. And I just realized that actually just brought Michael Norman and Jake Rogers up into this lead pack. So the 16 and the 14 are back in the thick of it. As Colano, who a few laps ago was having trouble staying up with the lead pack, now is out in front. LaPlante going to help push him there. Now where's the 24 of Shearer? He's going into turn 3. The field is past the start finish line, so they will not catch the 24. It was 5 laps to go when they hit the line back there, by the way. Colano, LaPlante, and Minnick right now hold the top 3 spots, but still roughly now about 11.5 miles remaining. Oh no, I'm sorry, 13.5 miles remaining. LaPlante now to the front, courtesy of drafting help from Ashlyn Boyd. Looks like that 12 car is up to speed, so he could end up playing a factor in more ways than one. Not only did he hold up that pack and allow Norman and Rogers to catch him, but he could also be a drafting partner for someone here to help push them up to a podium spot. If he stays with the lead pack, he might actually be losing them. I don't know. I can't tell. Everybody got by him. Now the question is he up to speed? LaPlante now to the top position. Battle for second. Colano up high. Boyd down low. Boyd has started on the pole for these 2 heat races so far, but trying to finish up front, not just start up front. And here comes the 16 of Michael Norman. Big run there. Nobody down there to help him, though. Tried to make it move, but Sekuli stayed the middle groove. Here comes Jake Rogers. These two work together to catch up to the pack. Maybe the two of them can work together to get to the front of the pack. Right now, LaPlante, though, doing his best to beat Dale Earnhardt Jr. Control the draft. Don't let either lane get a big run on you. If he does that, he'll be moving on to the main event of the big one. That was interesting. He moved low. Boyd stayed up high a little bit longer. Might have tried to get a run on the high side there through 3 and 4. 2 laps to go. Right now it's LaPlante, Boyd, and Norman with the top 3 positions. They're 3 wide for 4th. Well, actually, that's now for 5th behind him. They settle it back out as Norman once more. He's going for 2nd, and he'll take it easily. Rangers for the ones that get it done, and Norman's getting it done right now. A few laps ago, we didn't even have him in the conversation for this win. He was struggling to stay with the lead pack, and now he is on the back bumper of the UAW Delphi Chevy, almost on the left rear as he's trying to take the top spot. It'll be the white flag this time, and right now it's the 25, 16, 11, but here comes the 19. He wants to crack into the top 3. 1 lap to go. Boyd to the inside of Norman. That might hurt the 16. Unless Norman can tuck down in front of the 19. He's trying to pinch him. He's trying to block him. Can't quite do it. Now Norman's got the 21 of Minnick up there on the top side with him. Let's see if they can produce enough straightaway speed. Meanwhile, Ashlyn Boyd looking for the lead off Austin LaPlante into turn 3. Can he get to the inside? He's there. Whoa, what a move. Ashlyn Boyd will take the lead off the corner. LaPlante's going to drag race him. Colano, there's McIntyre. Who's going to get first, second, third? It's going to be Boyd, Colano, and LaPlante. McIntyre and Sanford were close. They tried. They couldn't quite do it, and LaPlante just barely hung on that top side to get the 3rd spot. Colano will transfer in 2nd, and Ashlyn Boyd, after 2 straight starts on the pole, he's going to finally transfer in as well, so they will join Langland, Green, and Gum as 3 of the 6 representatives for Team NNSCRA in the main event of the big one. Just coming up short with the Roush cars of McIntyre and Sanford. So that does it for the 2nd heat. Now only 2 spots remain. The first spot to be determined by a 9-lap dash, and then the final spot to be determined by that LCQ at Raleigh Raceway Park. So right now we've got Langland, Green, Gum from Heat 1, Boyd, Colano, LaPlante from Heat 2. Who's going to join them? Heat 3 coming up next. So 11 drivers left, 2 spots remain, and only 1 spot up for grabs here in this final heat race. The winner of this one will move on, joining Langland, Green, Gum, Boyd, Colano, and LaPlante, and the remaining 10 drivers will battle it out in that LCQ race at Raleigh Raceway Park. Now Paul Minnick will line up on the pole for this one. Ashlyn Boyd started on the pole for the last heat and won. And of course, Paul Minnick, of course, also just barely came up short of transferring, finished 4th in the first heat. So we got Minnick, Olvera, Canario, Norman, McIntyre, Rogers. Barreto is back here with Langland. Then Shearer, Sanford, and Sakuli. And I think we're going to be watching the 24 and the 12 during the course of this final 9-lap shootout. Because they are 2 for 2 in making contact with each other in our last 2 previous heats. And they are starting nose to tail in this one. Should be interesting. So here we go. Final spot up for grabs. 9 laps. Half of what we've run in our 2 heat races. So not a whole lot of time this time. Green flag back in the air for heat number 3. So now, looking at the manufacturer representation, we've got 3 Dodges, 2 Chevrolets, and 1 Ford, the lone Ford being our Heat 2 winner, Ashlyn Boyd. And there are a lot of Fords that still are in this group, want to get into the main event. And we do not have a Pontiac representative either. The only Pontiac that's been in Team NNSCRA's group at all is the 10 of Joshua Sakuli. Whoa! Close corner racing there as Levi McIntyre makes the move to the inside of Yin Canario. And look at the 12 and the 24. They're actually working together, question mark? Barretto in the 12, Shearer in the 24. Are they playing nice, or is this just the calm before the storm? And now Shearer to the inside. Now they're going to be side by side. Probably exchange pleasantries through the window nets, and maybe that'll be all that we'll have. We'll see. Look at that inside line. Zach Flickinger, Charles Sanford, Joshua Sakuli, and Jake Rogers down there producing some good speed. They're going to move that group at least up to second, not quite up to the race leader, Paul Minnick, as now Sanford will move to the inside of Flickinger. Sanford and McIntyre were close, 4th and 5th in the second heat, close to getting by LaPlante at the line, but LaPlante just barely hung on for 3rd to transfer. Now Canario way back there, he may lose the draft. We'll have to wait and see. Well, probably not with the way that they're racing here in the middle of this pack, as Minnick continues to enjoy the view out front, at least for now. Flickinger trying to run him down, though, so if he gets to the left side, the view won't look that great anymore. And yeah, he's going to see some blue. Some blue and yellow to the left side. Will Paul Minnick is now Flickinger to the inside for the top position. He'll take it, and here comes that lone Pontiac of Joshua Sakuli. 12 and the 24 are still side by side. I'm sorry, my eyes just keep moving back to look at those two. They can't help it. They've got history here today. Canario did indeed remain with the lead pack. Now Sanford's at the back of this group, as now Sakuli is going to try and take the top spot. And he will get it as the Pontiac Arrow moves to the front of the field. Or does it? Angel Alvaro goes low. Norman goes even lower. He's got big help from Kev Shearer, Levi McIntyre, and Yin Canario. And he's going to go to the front. So now Norman to the top position. Shearer moves to second. That's about the closest to the front we've seen him all day, as he spent the last 2 heats running near the rear of the field. The first one getting wrecked with Igor Barretto in Heat 1, and then the second one, contact with the 12, put him way back behind the lead pack. Now Levi McIntyre moves to third. Barretto trying to take fourth. Again, it's not the podium positions in this heat, it's just one driver, the race winner, that moves on to the main event. And now Kev Shearer trying to fight the 2 Fords up top side, Norman and McIntyre. He's going to get drafting help from Barretto in the 12. I'm sorry, I can't help but chuckle when I say that. Coming down to the line, as I again forgot to bring up the ticker. I apologize, even though it really doesn't matter because you guys can see all the race cars here, and you basically are able to tell who's leading. Battle for the lead between Barretto and Shearer. Give it to Barretto for the moment, and he's got a Dodge behind him. Jake Rogers in the 14. It'll be 3 laps to go when they hit the line next time by, and everybody in this group you can throw a blanket over. They all still have a chance of winning this thing. Barretto moves low, throws the block on the inside line, currently led by Flickinger. He's got Minnick and Sakuli with him. Getting a good run down the front straightaway here. Probably I'd see the 15 of Flickinger making a move down here into turn 1, as it is 3 laps remaining here at Coca-Cola Super Speedway. Here comes the 15 to the inside. No help, but he's going to try and do it himself, and he is clear for the lead. So Flickinger to the point. Barretto slots back to second. Side by side for third. Sakuli and Minnick. Norman trying to see which lane's going to move, as Barretto can't get to the inside of Flickinger this time. Might be waiting, might be biding his time, might not want to wait too long. Here comes the Valvoline Pontiac of Sakuli, and now Barretto makes the move, and Sakuli says, nope, I'm going back up to the top side. 2 laps to go. Look at the back there as they're trying to generate some energy. Angel Alvaro, Charles Sanford, Yin Canario, and they're making a charge to the front there on that inside line. The 13, 20, and 26 is now Sanford shifts groups and goes up to the top side. Barretto doing all the blocking he can. Wrecked on the first heat, wrecked on the second heat, trying to win the third heat to transfer into the main event of the big one. Here comes the 15 of Flickinger, though, with a big run through 3 and 4. They'll see the white flag this time. Flickinger with no drafting help. The 12's got draft on the top side with Angel Olvera. Can Flickinger get alongside, though? I think he's almost to the left rear, but I'm not sure. Tries to get there into turn 1, and he is there, and he's got drafting help from Sakuli in the 10. Down the back straightaway, here comes Flickinger. Here comes the 20 of Ying Canario. He's offering the drafting help. Will he have a run into turn 3? Side by side between the 15 and the 12. Flickinger pulls ahead. Here comes Canario looking low. Flickinger throws the block on him. Shearer there as well. Canario trying to peek, but he can't get there. Zach Flickinger will transfer into the main event as he wins heat number 3. Napa Know-How got him to the front, and Flickinger becomes the 7th entry to make it into the main event, representing Team NNSCRA in the big one. And now, the remaining 10 drivers will have to duke it out in a fight to the finish at Raleigh Raceway Park for the final position. Langley, Green, Gum, Boyd, Colano, LaPlante, and now Flickinger. 7 of the 8 representatives have been chosen. 1 spot remains. There's the official standings. Flickinger with the victory. So Canario, Barreto, Shearer, Rogers, Olvera, Sakuli, Norman, Minnick, McIntyre, and Sanford, they all will be moving on to the LCQ at Raleigh Raceway Park to get the final spot up for grabs on Team NNSCRA. Don't go anywhere. Hope that you've still got a snack, still got a drink. That LCQ is next. So as we get set here for the LCQ, 10 drivers remain, 1 spot left up for grabs to be a part of Team NNSCRA in the big one at Coca-Cola Speedway main event. And it will be 20 laps here tonight at Raleigh Raceway Park. The 10 drivers that didn't transfer in the 3 heat races at Coca-Cola take part in this, but it's a 20-car field. As you look at the 10 drivers that remain vying for 1 spot, we've got some uninvited back here, some uninvited guests. 10 bots will be also on the racetrack at the same time. Their goal, wreck everything in their path, which may include each other. So that's going to make it very interesting as they make their way through the intersection. So let's get these cars rolling off. 20 laps of racing, no cautions, and no damage. So if these drivers get wrecked, they can try and get back into it. And if their competitors ahead of them getting involved in something, you know, they got a chance to be able to battle back. We're also going to keep the camera focused on one area of the track, that is the intersection, because that's where all the action is going to take place. We'll bring your grid up for you so you can see who is running where at the time. But we're mostly going to be focusing on the center of the track right here in the intersection. Green flag's in the air. Here we go. Bring up the ticker, and we'll see who's going to be getting the final transfer spot for Team NNSCRA. Michael Norman around the outside got the lead from Sakuli. And we got a couple of bots that had some trouble there. They're going to be way back, and they will be the ones that will probably start shaking this up because you can see they're now exiting the intersection there. And on the right side of your screen, you'll see the leaders. They'll be entering the intersection there as the battle for the lead is on. That is Sakuli in the 10 and Shearer in the 24. Trouble! Someone just got put in the wall. I think that was Barreto got put in the wall by Norman, and a couple of bots also up and into the wall. Bear in mind, if a bot wins this race, it goes down to the highest finishing legit driver. A bot is not going to transfer into the main event as an NNSCRA representative. Look how the rear end housing of these cars just steps out, and here we go. This is where it's going to get good. Oh, there goes the leader, Sakuli, after contact with the 12 of Barreto. So he'll lose the lead. Who's it going to cycle over to is the question, because there were a number of leaders right in the middle of that. It's McIntyre and Olvera side by side battling for the top spot now. And now McIntyre's got the spot. Here comes Kev Shearer. Here comes Olvera. They almost got into the 12 of Barreto again. And now it's Sanford and Barreto that could be the drivers that'll start LePaging the drivers through the intersection. McIntyre now leaving Kev Shearer and Paul Minnick to battle with a couple of bots there. Oh, McIntyre clipped Barretto, and McIntyre's around as well. Lead will cycle around to the 24 of Kev Shearer, I believe. So Barretto, if he wasn't out of it before, he might be out of it now. Yes, Shearer with the lead. Now Minnick to second. Olvera in third. And there goes Barretto again. This time that was Norman and I think, was that Zakuli in the 10? Yeah. Oh, Shearer just got spun by a bot. Left side of the screen. And Shearer was in the lead. So that will put Paul Minnick in the top position now. Not even halfway, and already the bots are doing their duty. Minnick now's got quite a gap. McIntyre now second, Olvera third, Canario fourth, Norman currently in fifth of the drivers. And, ooh, there was some contact right there. I think that was between Norman and Sanford. For the moment, it looks like things are spread out just enough that nobody's going to hit anyone. Paul Minnick's got a huge lead, though. Oh, got trouble up there in turn 3. A couple more bots getting together. The driver's not at all pleased about these bots on track, and so they're also wrecking the bots at every opportunity. Whoa. Minnick almost got hit. Canary almost got hit. McIntyre will get hit, and a couple more bots get taken along with it. They're 3 wide through the intersection right there. A bot, that was Sakuli, and I think Rogers. Oh, someone wrecked out of the turn 4 there. That might have been Sanford or Shearer, but they kept it going. And Minnick almost got hit by a bot right there as he continues to lead. I don't know if McIntyre is still his second or not. Yes, he is somehow. With Rogers, I think, in third. Shearer now fourth, as I think that was McIntyre and Sakuli just wrecking up there in turn 3. And now Charles Sanford in trouble in the intersection with a bot. Minnick is involved. He just got into, I think that was Rogers or McIntyre. He's still going to continue to lead, though, as he had quite a gap between himself and Olvera. So Minnick gets involved in a wreck, keeps it going. Olvera second, Shearer third, Zakuli fourth, Rogers right now fifth, then Norman and Canario was seventh, and he just got up into the wall there out of turn 4. Oh, I think the 21 just spun. Yes, he did. He just got into it with a bot. That's going to lose him the lead. Another car up and over. That's Zakuli in the 10. New leader, the 13 of Angel Olvera, though. And now Shearer moves to second. Minnick back to third. Ooh, Sanford almost got nailed by a bot and Jake Rogers. 12 laps completed. 9 to go. Oh, and there goes Sanford. He gets Jake Rogers, who was, I believe, in third or fourth. Olvera now in a battle with Minnick right there, center of the intersection. 2 bots take each other out. That clears the pathway for Shearer. And there goes Norman. Norman was fourth. And he got hit by another bot. Minnick with the lead now. Shearer in second as something must have happened to Olvera. There's 4 bots between him and the top 2. Another problem for the 12 of Igor Barretto. He was up in the wall out of turn 3. Shearer about 2 car lengths off the 21, and now Barretto's going to take out another bot. Watch for the 21 coming right side of your screen here. There he is. Where's the 24? Kev Shearer must have wrecked because now Levi McIntyre is up to second. Olvera, Canario, and Shearer now the top 5. Shearer lost 4 spots with something. Oh, another wreck. That is the 13 of Olvera. Oh, and there goes Sakuli into a bot. And he's up and over as Sakuli. More wrecking. That's Norman and a couple more bots. And I think there was a yellow car went off the left side of the screen. I think that might have been Rogers. But still, Paul Minnick leads. He's trying to stay ahead of Levi McIntyre, who's right behind him, and those 2 going to go into the Lion's Den right here. Look out! Ooh, McIntyre might have almost sideswiped a bot right there. Sanford just went through Yin Canario. That was interesting. Oh, look out! Barretto got through, but a bot did not, and McIntyre just got spun. Oh, and there goes Kev Shearer, and he's morphed into a bot, and now they just got separated, but that was weird. Almost javelin. He speared a bot. As now Paul Minnick firmly in control of the lead. McIntyre quite a ways back. Canario in third. Rogers fourth. And there goes a bot off to the left side. Where's Minnick? There he is. He's way out there coming out of turn 4. Kev Shearer alongside of him, but I think Shearer's a lap down. There might have been some contact there between the 21 and the 24, and two bots just took each other out. McIntyre and Canario, they were battling for second. Sanford gets speared on the tire barrier. Second and third taken out. That'll move Jake Rogers to second, but a long way, 6 seconds behind Paul Minnick, who I think just got through that wreck there through the middle of 3 and 4. There he is now through this intersection. And the 14 right there, that's Rogers in second, trying to run down Minnick as we are getting close to the end of this race. White flag was just put in the air for the 21 of Paul Minnick. So Minnick trying to win this thing. He's got 3 seconds in hand between himself and Jake Rogers. Got to make it through the intersection one last time. He will. Look out. 12 spins ahead of him. Minnick gets through. Paul Minnick crosses the line. He'll get the final transfer spot into the main event for Team NNSCRA in the big one. And they're still wrecking. The bots are still wrecking. They don't know enough to stop. Paul Minnick survives the mayhem. There's a bot that's skewered on the tire barrier there. But Paul Minnick survives it all. And what a cool main event that was there for the final transfer spot here. This Demolition Derby at Raleigh Raceway Park. And Paul Minnick will get the final position. He was so close in Heat 1, finishing 4th. And gets the survival, if you will, here with the win. So he will be the final representative for Team NNSCRA, joining Zach Flickinger, Austin LaPlante, Austin Colano, Ashlyn Boyd, Carson Gum, Tony Green, and Kyle Langland. You can look here at the finishing results. Jake Rogers was the second highest finisher. Levi McIntyre, Michael Norman, 3rd and 4th. Angel Oliveira would have been 5th. Then Canario 6th, Barreto in 7th, Shearer 8th, 9th Sakuli, and Sanford was 6 laps down in 20th, so or in 10th rather. So no way he was going to be able to transfer. But Paul Minnick will get the final spot, so the grid is set for Team NNSCRA as they will get set to take on 8 from NIORL, 8 from NRLOA, 8 from NOFSRL, and 8 from TRN. We'll have to see if any of those 8 will be able to take the checkered flag in the main event of the big one. But thanks for tuning in to the qualifying races here for Team NNSCRA. Hope you enjoyed them. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and become part of the crew today. And also be sure to subscribe to the other 4 guys and their channels that are taking part in this thing as well. Links to all their channels is down in the description below. And also be sure on June 30th to tune in to, I believe it's either Napa Fan or the NRLOA channel. It will be down in the description, that channel, to tune in for the big one and see which team, which league comes out on top. Till then, I've been Seth Cole. You've been watching Protecting the NSRA, offline racing at its best. We'll see you guys for the main event of the big one coming up soon.